You try to have a conversation with your teenager. Before you even finish the first sentence, you get the eye roll. And you're standing there thinking, I'm just trying to help. Why does this feel so hard? If that's you, I want you to hear something. It's not that your teenager doesn't care, and it's not that you're a bad parent. There's a mismatch happening. Once you see it, everything changes. Stop trying to talk to your teenager the way your parents talk to you. It won't work. And here's why. Your teenager has a completely different map of the world than you do. See, what feels helpful to you feels controlling to them. What feels logical to you feels overwhelming to them. Until you understand that mismatch, every conversation will feel like a battle. There's a reason your teenager shuts down every time you try to have a real conversation. And it has nothing to do with them being difficult. It's something happening in your communication you're not aware of. Something you're doing that triggers their defenses before you even made your point. And once you see it, you can change it fast. I'm Malhotra, and I help people communicate in ways that actually create connection instead of conflict. And this topic is the single most requested subject from many of my students. See, parents keep asking me, how do I actually get through to my teenager? So I'm finally addressing it. In this video, I'm going to show you why your current approach isn't working, where the mismatch actually comes from, and 3 practical shifts you can use starting today to change the dynamic. See, this isn't about becoming a different parent. It's about communicating in a way that actually reaches them. Now, let me start by taking something off your shoulders. One of the biggest misunderstandings about teenagers is this idea that they're deliberately trying to shut you out. They're not. See, their brains are literally rewiring. The part of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, for impulse control, and perspective is under construction. It's not finished developing until their mid-20s. So they're processing the world differently than you are. What feels logical to you can feel overwhelming to them. What feels helpful to you can feel controlling to them. This is why they can have a meltdown over something that seems small to you, or why they can't see the consequences that you see so clearly. That doesn't mean they don't care. It means they're wired differently right now. And here's the part that matters. When you understand this, you stop taking those eye rolls personally. You stop interpreting their distance as rejection. You start seeing it for what it is, a mismatch, not a rejection. Now, here's the part most parents miss. Most of us communicate the way we needed to be communicated with growing up. We speak from advice, from correction, from protection, from I know better because I've lived longer. And that might have worked for you. But your teenager has a completely different map of the world. So what happens is this. You speak from concern and they hear criticism. You speak from guidance, they hear control. You speak from love, they hear pressure. And suddenly, you're not even having the same conversation. Think about the last conversation that went sideways with your teenager. What were you trying to communicate? And what did they seem to hear? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious what patterns show up. See, this next part explains why it keeps happening. Here's where the real problem starts. You feel frustrated because they're not listening. And that frustration leaks into your tone, your body language, and your words. Even if you don't say anything harsh, they feel the pressure. And when they feel that pressure, they get defensive. Eye rolls, shutting down, one-word answers, walking away. And that defensiveness triggers more frustration in you. And now you've got a loop. And unless someone breaks it, it just keeps repeating. Every conversation, every topic, the same dynamic. And here's what makes this worse. The loop happens so fast that neither of you sees it. You both feel like the other person started it. You both feel justified in your reaction, and you both end up more disconnected. And here's what's at stake. These years go fast. The window where they still want your connection, even if they don't admit it, is smaller than you think. Every conversation that turns into a fight is a missed opportunity to stay close. Someone has to break the pattern. And since you're the adult with a fully developed brain, that someone is you. Now I'm going to give you 3 shifts that change everything. Think of them as match, pace, connect. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember those three words. So shift 1 is match. Before you try to lead your teenager anywhere, match them. Match their emotional state, not their attitude, their state. If they're flat, don't come in enthusiastic. If they're overwhelmed, don't come in logical. If they're guarded, don't come in intense. Now here's what this looks like in practice. Your teenager comes home stressed about school. Your instinct is to jump in with solutions. Well, have you tried studying earlier? Have you talked to your teacher? See, that's leading them before you match them. Instead, try matching first. Sit with them. Lower your energy to meet theirs. That's it. No advice, no fix, just presence. See, when your teen feels met instead of managed, their resistance drops. And once resistance drops, they're far more open to actually hearing you. Shift 2, pace. This next one is where most parents get stuck. Second shift is pace before you lead. Most parents open with advice. I get it, you're trying to help. You can see the answer clearly. You want to spare them the pain. But what teenagers need first is to feel understood. So instead of "you should just," try "that sounds frustrating. I can see why you'd feel that way." Or "that makes sense from where you're standing." You're not agreeing with bad behavior. You're not saying their perspective is right. You're pacing their experience. You're showing them you get it before you try to guide them. And once they feel paced, they're far more open to being led. This works because it bypasses their conscious resistance. They're not fighting you anymore. They're with you. Shift 3 is connect. This one is big. Most parents go into conversations trying to get an outcome, a decision, a behavior change, a result. I need them to understand why this matters. I need them to stop doing that thing. I need them to listen. Teenagers shut down when they feel like the conversation has an agenda. They can sense when you're trying to get something from them, and the walls go up. So change the goal. Instead of "I need to fix this," make the goal "I want connection." Now, here's what this looks like. Instead of sitting down to talk about their grades, try sitting down just to hear how they're doing. No agenda. No "so about your math test." Just curiosity about their life. Watch what happens when they realize you're not trying to steer the conversation somewhere. When connection is present, influence follows naturally. When connection is missing, nothing you say sticks anyway. And this is the shift that changes everything. Stop trying to win the conversation. Start trying to stay connected through it. See, these shifts work because they bypass conscious resistance. You're no longer fighting their defenses. You're working with their nervous system. Now, I've seen parents go from daily arguments to actual conversations in a matter of weeks. Not because the teenager suddenly changed, but because the parent stopped triggering the defensive response. One father told me, "I used to dread coming home because I knew there'd be a fight about homework or something else. Now we actually talk. Not every day, but enough. And when we do talk, it's real." That's not years of family therapy. That's match, pace, connect. A few shifts in how you approach the conversation. And the beautiful part is this: when you change how you communicate, they often change how they respond. Not because you force them to, but because the dynamic shifted. If you've tried something like this and seen a change, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now, this is especially for parents in their 40s and 50s or beyond. Parents who love their kids deeply, but feel like they're losing access to them. Parents who remember when their teenager used to talk to them and wonder where that connection went. You're not failing. You're just using a communication style that no longer matches the person in front of you. So if you're dealing with eye rolls, shutdowns, or distance, don't push harder. Communicate differently. Match their state, pace their experience, and choose connection over control. And when you do that, conversations change. And more importantly, so does the relationship. Now, these shifts will help you communicate better. But here's what most parents discover once they start using them. The reason conversations were so charged in the first place often goes deeper than communication style. If you've been carrying frustration, fear, or pain around your relationship with your teenager, that emotional weight affects every conversation. Even when you're trying to stay calm, it leaks through. If you want to understand how to clear that emotional charge so you can show up differently, I've explained that in another video on this channel. It's called the Energy Cube, and it shows you why some situations trigger you more than they should, and how to change that at the source. So watch that video next. This is where the deeper work happens. I'll see you in that video.